talk about ObjectStudio was supposed to happen after the talk from Arden Thomas, our product manager. On Wednesday, right after that, he talked about the new things about happening in the Cincom Smalltalk, Visualworks, and ObjectStudio. Unfortunately, we didn't have the time then, so I got this slot today. Thanks very much. And I wanted to talk about the new GUI project for ObjectStudio. This is a project we just recently started for ObjectStudio. It's a new user interface to replace the existing one. We don't have a date yet when this is going to be expected, but it's some new architecture, something that is supposed to live without any primitives, without any home-written C primitives, and whoever knows ObjectStudio is using ObjectStudio knows that it comes with a whole set of DLLs, a whole set of primitives that when you debug it, basically stop right where you are, do some magic happens on the screen, and it's hard to make changes to them. Now, we wanted to create a new GUI library that actually works around that is easy to maintain, or easier to maintain, and is transparent for the user. So whenever a new version comes out, we can deliver fixes and changes to the customer in a more timely manner than is possible at this moment. As I said, there are no more primitives. It's 100% Smalltalk code, so the code can be changed anytime from customer and support and the engineers from Cincom Smalltalk. It's easier for the support to send out the fixes, so if anything changes or anything not to the liking of the customer and client, we can immediately fix it and send out the change rather than sending out DLLs. Who of you work in, let's say, financial institutions or insurances know that DLL changes are always very suspicious. There could be something hiding in there. You usually don't have the code, and some of the other clients quarantine those DLLs up to a certain amount of time that before they actually send it out to their customers. So that just prolongs the execution and the rollout of our fixes. And a 5-line change of Smalltalk code is much easier to roll out and to get reviewed than a whole set of 900 kilobyte of DLL. Plus, the easy enhancements of features not yet implemented. We don't exactly know the API of Windows 8, what is coming out there. So we implement the Windows 7 APIs and the controls that are available right now. As soon as Windows 8 is out there and the API is established as a fact, we can then go ahead and implement the remaining widgets that are available at that point in time. The events and the architecture should allow that. Fallout project means during this project, we are rolling back something into the existing ObjectStudio already into the next release. Just because we were doing a lot of research and a lot of work into the GUI project, we said, hey, wait a minute, this is beneficial for the users right now, and we could do it without too much of a problem. So the image list itself was used to be a C++ class, and very tightly coupled to things like the tree view and the list view. And we turned it a little bit around and said, okay, there's a standard C API that we can use, and it's more used to things like menus, tree views, list views, and a couple of other items that or widgets that we can use and the customers can use. So make it available now. Same for the font caching that was implemented in C before. You heard Arden Thomas talk about the font cache, or the font work that is done on Visualworks, and some part of it, the font cache for ObjectStudio, is already going into the next major release. Menus, same thing. ObjectStudio menus, you probably know, are the standard menus, there's not that much that you can do with it. With the new menus, you can put icons in front of it. You have the checkboxes check marked that we already can do, but the icons they use new. Common controls like the progress bar is something that why shouldn't depend on any MFC controls. And something new that is actually really easy to implement is the new marquee progress bar that we'd like to have for some time now, but just didn't do it. In order to show you a little bit about it, I don't want to have any more slides at this point in time. I just want to show you where this project is at this moment. And therefore, we're changing into a live ObjectStudio. Down here is a very simple test UI that really just is opening up one window and having a single UI element on the screen. On the upper right corner, you see the system transcript, and you will see why it is there in a minute. So let's begin. So one of the first things that we did, of course, was opening up and closing up a window. That was done before using primitives. Now we use the DLRCC calls that are available in VisualWorks and ObjectStudio. But the window itself isn't very much. So let's start out with the button. So we have the UI button right there. Doesn't do very much at the moment, but when you watch the transcript, you see that we're getting a whole lot of events here. And right now what I'm doing is basically just outputting every single event that I get to the transcript, regardless of where it originates and how it gets into the image. Well, it gets into the image through a very certain point in this case. And if I click the button here, do you see it? Yeah, you don't see it. Here, it's highlighted. If I release it, you probably see command clicked CMD0. Yeah. Sometimes, if I move the mouse, then it's boom, gone. That's why I said you don't see it anymore. And so you get the button clicked event, which is propagated through the announcements. Every tool basically has a number of announcements that you subscribe to. Of course, you can add your own announcements if you want to propagate it further, or you subscribe to announcements like click, double click. It's up to your liking. Let's close it in. Something that we didn't have before, and that is something that is part of the common control, not of the standard user32 library, but the common control, is an IP address control. Some might say it's not something that's too interesting, but there are some nice features to it that you can actually limit the range. You can set the range of the IP address. You can set the what is it called, the net mask. And everything, so the user can make certain settings, but not go overboard, so it stays within your range limit. So I cannot put in I cannot put in a 255 even if I want to. I can put in the 25, but because I change in my instance, I limit it code. Set range at 4, that's the last element, from 20 to 50. So it's really limited from 20 to 50. In here, the 5, I can put in the 255. Just don't tell me. Okay, didn't do that. Oh. So, center, I can put in the 80 if I want to, but in here, that doesn't work. Back to the class. Now, simple as a list box. It's not nothing special in there. But the nice thing is, We are doing or re-implementing the theme data. So you're opening up a certain theme on Windows Vista, or since Windows Vista, you can have certain themes on your applications that are actually consistent throughout all of the applications from Microsoft. And now with ObjectStudio, you can write and use the same widgets that they have and use the same themes. Password editor control is pretty standard too. So I can just type in something. It's kind of small in here. That's because Dirk uses a different resolution for now. So let's make it a little bit bigger. UI password. Default extend. Make it 50. Save it. And it's bigger. Something that you can do also in Smalltalk, and in C you need to recompile, but who am I talking to here? So don't want to preach to the choir. Syslink tool is something that is nice. It looks like a basic static text, but you can put in HTML code as well. So what you do is, welcome to Cincom Smalltalk, and you put in a link right there. As soon as you click it, boom, the browser opens up, or something for you. All right, I'm getting the signal here that we are out of time. If somebody wants to know more about it, if somebody's interested in it, please let me know. And thank you very much. Art Thomas, Suzanne Fortman,